If you haven't heard of a flywheel, you probably aren't designing systems as well as you could be. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what a flywheel is and how you could use it to your benefit. Let's get into it. At its core, a flywheel is a self-reinforcing system that stores energy from each action. It then uses this energy to make further actions easier. So the four main components of a flywheel are as follows: force, friction, momentum, acceleration. And you might notice this, these are terms from physics. Businesses are physical systems, so the best way to understand business is through the lens of physics. So think in terms of force, motion, gravity, acceleration, friction. These concepts are of enormous value when you're trying to understand your business holistically. So before we even get into how this applies to business, let's explore the mechanics of motion itself. So for force, this is the initial push that starts motion. For friction, this is anything that slows momentum. Momentum is stored energy from past success, and acceleration is the compounding effect of aligned systems. Lastly, energy is simply the capacity to produce work. So to tie this all together, the flywheel represents energy retention. So this energy is going to be stored and compounded within the system, thereby reducing effort required for further motion. And so I know that was a mouthful there, but to break this down, this capacity to produce work, right, this energy is going to be stored within our system. And when I say that it's compounded, I'm saying that the result or the output of the system is going to feed back into the system, thereby contributing to further growth. So the more turns the flywheel completes, the less effort is required to sustain it. And look, I know that I'm being very abstract here at the moment, but please bear with me because once you see how this concept applies to business, you're going to love it. So just stick with me through this. So conceptually, flywheels loop. So each output from the flywheel or the system becomes input for the next cycle or oscillation. This is the compounding mechanism that I was referring to. So in life and in business, instead of chasing growth, our goal is to engineer systems that are momentous, meaning the successful operation of the system contributes to its further successful operation. It's that simple. Allow me to make this concrete by tying it to business. So in business, a flywheel forms when success feeds itself. So if we look at this diagram here, the first step is a satisfied client. That's our first point of success. This satisfied client leads to a testimonial. We use these testimonials to get more clients. We then satisfy those clients. That generates more testimonials, so on and so forth. Thus is the engine of sales. Okay? So the basic idea is to attract one client, right? That's the initial force, and do excellent work for them. We do this excellent work, they give us a testimonial. This testimonial then fuels more clients, which, if we succeed for them, fuels more and more clients. So this, in essence, is a simple flywheel where success begets success. Here's another example to really take this point home. So in modern technology, a flywheel forms when data improves the product. This attracts more users, which then creates more data. So better data creates a better customer experience. So think about any product that is tailored to or personalized to you, like your Spotify or Apple playlist, or maybe your Amazon account. They're taking data from you and they're using it to improve your experience. So they don't offer you anything that they know that you're probably not going to be interested in. So all things remaining equal, the more data you have on somebody, the better experience you're going to be able to create for them. So better data creates a better customer experience. This leads to more users. So that effectively acts as your testimonial generator. So because your customers love your product, they're going to talk about it. That's going to drive more users. This then generates more data. So a lot of companies, a lot of tech companies benefit from this kind of flywheel. So how does this work? So First stage, or the initial force, is we need to gather user data through interactions. This is going to create insight into behavior and preferences. Next, we're going to use this data to refine recommendations, speed, or accuracy, right? We're going to personalize the experience or tailor it to you. As a result of these activities, the product improves, and this draws in more users. The fact that we have more users generates us more data, so on and so forth. Do you see the flywheel here? So each cycle or each oscillation of the system increases precision, personalization, and defensibility. So a lot of tech companies benefit from this kind of flywheel, and this actually contributes to their moat or competitive advantage. This makes it more difficult for people to create the same kind of company because you have what's called a data advantage. So let's go through a couple real-world examples to really take this home. So for Amazon, as they get more customers, this generates more reviews. As they get more reviews, this improves the quality of their recommendations. As the quality of their recommendations increase, this allows them to generate more sales. And as they generate more sales, this is going to give them more insight into consumer preferences, fueling the cycle. Okay? So Spotify has a very similar thing going on here. So as they get more listening data, they're able to create better playlists. As they create better playlists, this drives engagement from the users. And this increased user engagement gives them more data. And as they get more data, they're able to create better playlists. You see how it works? And for Tesla, as more people drive their self-driving cars, this improves the quality of their autopilot technology. As their autopilot technology improves, it gets safer. As it gets safer, people want it because it's safer, so this drives adoption. As more people adopt it, this gives Tesla more data, so on and so forth. So the core idea is that each company's edge isn't just in the product. It's in the flywheel of data improving itself. So if you're working within a company or if you own a company, what is your flywheel? What is your self-reinforcing loop that is going to make your life drastically easier? So within my company, Crimson, I'm working with the flywheel up here. So every time I satisfy a client, that yields me a testimonial. These testimonials are used as sales assets, which then generate more clients. Okay? So that's the basic flywheel. If you have some kind of SaaS company, do you have a data flywheel built into your operations? If you don't, you need to look into that because it's going to make your life, as I said, drastically easier. So the core idea is that a flywheel is a loop where every success stores energy that makes the next success easier. We want to turn effort into momentum. We want to turn momentum into growth. Alrighty, gang, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you like this kind of stuff, definitely check out Compound School. This is a 90-day program designed to take you from where you are today to your first paying customer for your online business. Like, subscribe, and holla at your boy.